Hello everyone, this is Adya Malik. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to do part 2 of the unit 21, which was a poem The Road Not Taken, written by Robert Frost. In the previous video, we talked about the structure, rhyme scheme, and the stanza-wise explanation of the poem. In today's video, we are going to talk about the themes and the comprehension questions that are given at the end of your book. Please remember, this is the first year English textbook for the year 2020-2021. So the video is based on the new course. Let's start with the themes. So themes are basically the main topics that the poet talks about in a poem. So the first theme is the choice or choices that we have in our life. So we all know that the road not taken basically is based on an extended metaphor. So something that is called a road is not just a physical road, but it is a metaphor for human life. So the road not taken focuses on the concept of choice. The path is splitting in two directions. So you always have two different choices in front of you, and the poet has to decide which way to go. This metaphor of path also represents one decision in his life. So we have to make a lot of decisions all the time, and we usually have choices. And whenever there are choices, there is always a doubt which choice to make. If there is no choice, then the decision is easy because you do not have a choice. You have to do whatever is offered to you. But when a choice is presented in front of you, then you're always a little doubtful which choice to make and what that decision is going to end up like after a few years. He's bound to make a choice, yet he has a really hard time deciding. One moment he thinks one way is better, the next both paths are about the same. He also realizes that this choice may change his life forever, and that thinking is quite daunting. It is actually making him a little scared that what if I make a right choice now, and after years and years, I'll realize that that was the point that made all the difference. So that kind of doubt is always there whenever you are presented with a choice. The second theme is exploration and individualism. That you need to explore whatever is in front of you. You can't be a coward and run away. So you need to make a choice. And then once you have made it, you have to stand by it. You have to own it. You have to take the responsibility of the consequences of your decision. Our speaker doesn't know which path to take, but instead of turning back to where he came from, he chooses a path and forges on it, willing to face whatever challenges that path may lead him to. Especially in life, the time just moves forward. There is no backward button. So you can't just return and you can't not take any decision. You have to take a decision. He is attracted to a path that might be less traveled, which suggests that he likes to go where few people have gone before. The road not taken appreciate exploration, suggesting that the only way to see what is beyond the bend in the road is to keep walking. So we cannot look into the future. So we can't just sit and wait and let the time go by. We have to make choices, we have to explore, we have to be brave, we have to be daring, and we have to choose a path and then keep on going. And with the passage of time, we are going to know whether that path is good for us or bad for us. But the only way to find that out is to actually walk on the path. You can't just stand on the fork, you can't just stand on the crossroad and spend your life over there. Time does not stop for you. So life is going. It is passing you. You have to make a decision and you have to make it quickly. Then there's another theme of dreams, hopes, and plans. That whenever you have choices, they are like future pathways. These are like future chances that you have. Our choices are linked to the future. Every choice that we make has some consequences, have some future consequences, that whatever we decide today is going to affect our future life. The speaker of this poem realizes that his choice of path will change his life, but the tricky part about the nature of the future is that the speaker won't know how his decision will change his life until it has already changed it. So you can't actually predict how a decision is going to pan out, whether it is going to be good for you or whether it is going to backfire. So the only way for that is to wait until that change has actually created a change in your life. The speaker thinks of his lost opportunities as his choices takes him into one future and leaves another behind. The problem with human nature is that we want everything. So if there are two choices in front of us, we actually want both of them, but that is not possible. You need to choose one. So whenever we make a choice, we are always thinking about the one that we did not take. In another poem of Robert Frost, that is After Apple Picking, he says that I have barrels and barrels filled with apples, but there are still some apples left on the boughs, and he's still thinking about those apples that he had did not picked up yet. So this is human nature. We are greedy. We want everything. So if a choice is presented to us, we actually want to take both of them. But we can't in life. We always have to make a choice. We have to just take one thing and leave the rest behind. Another theme is man and the natural world. Robert Frost is famous for taking elements of nature and then teaching you lessons about human nature through those natural settings. Here also, he's just talking about walking into a forest one day and looking at these roads, two roads in front of him, and he has to take one. So it is just like a common decision that one makes every day, that whether to go on this road or the other road. But he has taken that situation, that context, and he's talking about man and the natural world. Throughout the road not taken, nature is used as a metaphor for the life of the speaker. The speaker uses walking in a forest in fall and compares it to the life in general and how one has to make decisions all the time. This metaphor helps us understand the complexities of a choice, and that will decide his future. So we all know that the road here is an extended metaphor. It runs throughout the poem in all the four stanzas. The road does not mean physical road. It does not mean a pathway. It actually means human life that goes on and on and on. One road leads to another, and that road leads to another road. But you cannot go back to where you actually started. So this metaphor has been taken from nature, like walk in a forest in fall time because everything is yellow. But obviously it means much more than what it actually presents. So intended meaning is there, the hidden meaning is there. The road here actually stands for human life, and two roads mean a choice that you have been given in life, and this is going to happen many times, not just once or twice. Every now and then you are presented with choices and you have to take any one of them, but the problem is you cannot actually look into the future how this choice is going to result after 5 years or 10 years or 20 years. So now we are going to move to comprehension questions. These have been taken from the end of your unit. Why is the poem titled as The Road Not Taken? Why not The Road Taken? Since it is the road taken that made all the difference. So the poem is not about the road taken by the poet, but the one that was not taken. It is about the lost opportunity because he had to make a decision. No matter which road he takes, after a long time, he will look back and think, what if he had taken the other road, the one he didn't take? It also shows how most people make the easy choices and only the brave take the road less traveled by. And it has its own price and it has its own prize. So the title is very suggestive. He does not say that I took the road less traveled by and that has made all the difference. So the title should be The Road Taken. But here is the road not taken. It is human nature that whenever you choose one thing, you keep on thinking about the other choice that you left behind, because you are always trying to think about, what if I had taken that road? Where would that road lead me? Whether I would be in a better place or a worse place. So that kind of thinking and reasoning is always there in a human mind. What difference is the poet talking about? Can you make an informed guess? The difference is between the ordinary people and the extraordinary people. Most people make easy choices and lead an ordinary life. The extraordinary dare to take the road less traveled by, and thus they face consequences that can change their lives forever. So he is actually standing there thinking which road to take, but a lot of people don't even do that. They just take any road without even thinking, without even bothering to think about the consequences of their decisions. But this person is not an ordinary person. He's an extraordinary person. He's a brave person. He's a wise person. He's an intelligent person. And he's thinking about the pros and cons, the positive and the negatives of his decision. And after thinking, he just takes one road and he takes the one that is less traveled by. So that shows his individualism. That shows that he's an independent soul. That shows that he is an adventurous person. He wants to take roads and paths, and he wants to make choices that everybody would not make. Most people actually go for easy choices in their life. So this question, a long one, why does the poet succeed in making the right decision? So the road is an extended metaphor for life. Metaphor is when something is directly compared to something else. So here the road has been compared to life. An extended means that it runs throughout the poem. It is not just there in one line, but all the four stanzas of the poem are actually using the metaphor of road for life. In our lives, we have to make choices all the time. The road of life has no option of turning back. We have to choose our way forward. Once we have made a decision, we need to take responsibility as well. We have to accept the consequences of that choice, in both cases, positive and negative. Only time would tell whether our choice was a good one or not. So this is the whole decision making, that you need to take a leap of faith. You do not know what is going to happen in future. So you just have to take the step. And after some time, you are going to realize whether your choice was good or not. But you need to be brave enough to face the consequences and accept the consequences, because it was you who made the choice and nobody did it for you. Next question, the imagery ages and ages hence put value on some essential traits of the character that brings difference in people's life. What in your view are these traits? So ages and ages hence means time past or the life spent. So he's talking about somewhere in future. Some time in future, after years upon years have gone by. The poet believes that no one has seen the future, so one has to make choices based on the hope that it will change one's life for better. So you may never make a decision that, okay, I'll take this road because this is going to destroy me. You always are hopeful that maybe if I choose this is going to be better for me. One has to be brave to take roads less traveled by. Only then they can look back and sigh with relief. But sometimes you need to be daring, and you need to be brave, and you need to be extraordinary. You have to take roads which are taken up by less people, because they are difficult, and because they require a lot of hard work, because they require a lot of patience. But at the end, if it is good for you, you are going to be the one who are going to look back and sigh with relief that thank God I made that choice. Because every choice that you make turn you into a different personality. It makes your personality over the period of time. Next one, what in your view is the dominant theme of the poem? So it's basically about choices and responsibility of taking a decision. Life is full of choices. People are faced with uncertainty many times in their life. Our inability to look into the future forces us to make choices with limited knowledge. We do not know what is going to happen. We have very limited knowledge, and yet we have to make a decision. Whenever we are given a choice, we take one path, but we also think about the one we didn't take. Though there is a regret about leaving the other path, we also know that if we choose what few people choose, we will have a very different life. This life can be either very good or bad. Whether we will sigh with relief or with regret, only time will tell. Even in the poem, it is not sure whether the sigh in the last stanza is a sigh of relief or sigh of regret, and whether the difference is a good difference or a bad difference. So only time would tell you whether you made the right choice or not. Describe imagery of the poem. Is it abstract or concrete? Illustrate with examples from the poem. So imagery is used to help reader feel things with all five senses. So in this poem, basically we are using visual imagery that you can actually see things in your mind. For example, yellow wood tells you the forest in autumn with all the yellow color. Bent in the undergrowth, you can actually imagine the path going and disappearing in the grass, grassy and wanted wear. And in leaves, no step had trodden back, because in fall the leaves are wet, and when you step on them they become black. So the visual imagery is very strong. It brings a very clear image of the road in the mind of the reader. So you are very clear about what kind of road we are talking about. So beautiful poem. So please read it again and again. Read through these questions. If you don't understand anything, please ask me in the comments. Also like the video, comment if you have any problem, share it with your friends. Also subscribe my channel. And last but not the least, thank you for watching.